Hi, everybody. Welcome to quarter three. For the third quarter, one of the things that we're going to be doing that's new is to do some composition and some score writing. You're going to be arranging, and one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to use flat again, which you remember we used back in the spring, the first time we did distance learning. What's cool about flat is it's like a Google Doc, but for a score. So right now, everybody has their own copy of this exact same document that you're looking at. But later in the quarter, we'll be doing some collaboration and working together in our string quintets. So we will build towards that. But first, I want to start out with a warm-up project. So what you're going to do this week is you are going to compose your own warm-up for our class to do at the beginning of each of our large group Google Meets. And in doing that, you're going to learn how to input notes, how to do things like bowings and articulation, and also how to copy and paste so that you can transpose for other instruments, okay? So that's what we're going to show in this video. So let's dive right in, okay? Super simple. You just click where you click where you want it to go, and you can either press, you can lick, see how this drops this note here? I could play an F like that. Or I could, on my keyboard, type the letter F. So I'm just on my keyboard, type in G, and it will just automatically keep going. So you just keep going like that, okay? Now let's say you don't want quarter notes. Okay, well then you go to the eighth note tool, and whatever is highlight turns into eighth notes. So I just, and then it just keeps going until you change it to be something else. If you wanted to do like a quicker entry, you can see how this is 4, 3, 2 over here. You could like click the number 5 and that would toggle to 16th notes. Number 1, 2 would toggle to half notes, that whatever that value is. Okay, so that's a little bit quicker, so you don't have to constantly be like using your cursor and going back and forth. You could have one hand on your numbers doing rhythm and one hand on your letters doing the notes. Okay. All right, now let's talk about articulations and bowings and stuff like that. The articulation tab is up here at the top, as you can see. You can add slurs. So let's say we wanted to slur. We would take that. We would just click the note that we want to slur, and that will start the slur, and you just drag it as far as you want, and it automatically kind of makes it look pretty nice. There's, of course, down bows right here and up bows here. So then let's say we want that slur to be on an up bow, and we want this first note to be on a down bow, okay? So that would be a way to add the bowings to your score. Okay. Obviously, there's pits and arco. There's even Bartok pits is here. Ooh, fancy. But we don't need to worry about that right now. Okay. Now, let's talk about how you are going to add dynamics. Super simple. You click on the dynamic tab up here. You click on, make sure the note that you want is highlighted, and then you click mezzo forte. One thing that I like to do is I like to use my arrows down here at the bottom. I can use that to quickly kind of go back and forth between notes. So maybe I'll write a forte there. Or excuse me, a mezzo forte. I wrote forte would be 6. Again, you see the number system up here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s. That's just a little bit easier, I find. Okay, when you're adding a crescendo, let's go back over here. It's like a slur. It automatically puts it in, and then you just like make it longer or shorter like that. Okay, so that's how you add dynamics, articulations, bowings, notes. Finally, we're going to talk about the transposition. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are highlighting. And the way I do that is I like start at one side, and I hold my shift key all the way to the end of the excerpt. And then I just do a little quick copy paste, put it on the viola line, and boom, it's automatically transposed. Now here's what you gotta watch out for. All instruments do not have the same range. So this is acceptable for viola. We don't want to go too much higher. I mean, violas can play up higher, but we want to keep it comfortable. So a good rule of thumb is to keep everything within a couple ledger lines above. Okay, so we don't want to go higher than a couple ledger lines. For the violin, the lowest note on the violin is this G right here. Oops, that's an F, sorry. This G. That's the lowest note a violin can play. For viola, it's a C, which is right down there. For cello, it's also a C. Not that C, this C. Oops, that's it. Here we go, one more. And then for bass, it's a low E. Not that E, but this E. Now, Josie's gonna have to help me out. I actually don't really remember offhand what the lowest note is for Josie on the harp, but let's just say for the purposes of our exercises that we keep everything in the staff. So don't go lower or higher for now, okay, until she tells us otherwise, okay? So good luck. For this assignment, all you're gonna do is you're gonna write one short exercise that we can all play together and then transpose it for all of the instruments. Now, if you need to do the transposing, like let's say you copied the violin over here and it was too high for the violists, you could transpose it. And the way you transpose it, we're gonna get that out of there since we don't need it there, is you're going to highlight the whole excerpt and then you can just simply press the arrow key. So it starts on that B, and I'm just going to press the down arrow. Now it is transposed. And I just tapped the down arrow 7 times to get it down an octave. Okay, so super simple. You just have to do that. If you wanted to play around with some other things, you could add all sorts of different. You could do key signatures. You could do, there's like tons of key signatures. You can change the key signature. Let's just do it in A flat for whatever reason. Okay, there's all sorts of things you can change, but let's keep it simple for this video. Good luck.